good morning. At least it's morning when I'm shooting this. It may not be morning when you're watching this, but good morning. And it's a Sunday morning, and I've got a review for you of the LifeDoo fire pit. This is the new LifeDoo fire pit on Big Lou Barbecue. Yeah, they came out with one a year or so ago. I saw it on several YouTube channels, thought it was pretty cool. I actually thought about ordering one, but at the time I had so much going on, I didn't get one ordered. Then last January, they contacted me. See, I'm not a YouTuber that likes to contact companies and ask to review everything. I got enough stuff, and and if they contact me and I like the product, I think it's worthy of something I can show on my show, I'll give it a chance and I say, yeah, you can send me one, but I don't contact them first. So I didn't contact LifeDoo, they contacted me, asked me to do a review of their new fire pit. See, the old one is called the Prima, because that's the first one, Prima, right? This one is called the UROD. UROD comes in a box like this. Now, UROD stands for You Are Our Designer. Now, these things were designed in Australia. I'm not sure if it's made in Australia, but they were designed by an Australian company. And the Australians aren't, that known for speaking English too well. I know, U starts with a Y, R starts with an A. Our and designer both start with O and D, but UROD, U-R-O-D, you are our designer. And they told me, give it an honest review. Be critical where it's critical, because we want to do a good product, and if there's something wrong, we want to know about it and we want to fix it and we want to come back with a better product. And I thought, well, that's a good company, because they're not telling me to just give them a glittering generality and write stuff on there because I got something for free because I got a YouTube channel. There's not a whole lot to my YouTube channel. I just a fella having fun with food, fire, and a phone camera in my backyard. By the way, this is my backyard. Yeah, I need to mow it, but it's rained ever since I got this thing almost every day. See, it's Sunday, and I got this on a Tuesday a week ago. So this coming Tuesday, 2 days from now, will be 2 weeks since this arrived to me in the mail. So they contacted me in January, said they'll have the product ready to go. Now, the old one had like 4 parts to it, 2 side panels and 2 front and back panels. And there were some videos I saw on there. People said it needed some way to catch ashes to protect the ground in places. Some people said that it needed a grill grate or some way to hold pots or pans to cook on it. And so they came out with this new one, all right? So this is what it is. Comes in a box like this. I'd show you the back, but they've got a piece of profanity on here, and I keep this as a family show, I don't know why they put that on there. Maybe a lot of people probably think it's really cool, but I can see a lot of family campers with children thinking, I don't want that on the box when I got 4-year-olds running around. Well, 4-year-olds can't read. 6-year-olds can read, But anyway, comes in a little box, right? So if I got to criticize, there's no reason to put the profanity on the back of the box. Just saying, just not. All right. Now, I'm not trying to be a prude or anything. I'm just saying, why? Why? I mean, people that use profanity will buy the stuff whether it's got profanity on the back of the box or not. But people that don't use profanity may not buy it. So why limit your sales by writing profanity on the back of the box? All right, yeah, and if you want to know, it's the profanity word for, Sam Houston Institute of Technology. There you go. That's what it is, That's what they like, the Sam Houston Institute of Technology, put it on the football helmets. That's what it would say, all right? So, people said you needed a grill grate, so they got this little grill grate. Now I'm gonna say, I'd only use this grill grate, I wouldn't use this as a permanent grill grate, but if you wanted to cook something, you've got something you can cook on. If I cooked on it every day, it wouldn't last too long, but if you're only camping a few times a year, or you're only wilderness camping a few times a year, or you only have this when you need it, that's fine. You can buy other grates that would fit on top. I'm gonna show you how that works. Now this is the coal holder ash catcher. It goes in the bottom of the thing, and it's got some longer pieces right here. I'll show you that up close in a little bit, but longer ends on one side and shorter ends on the other, because I'm gonna show you how it goes in when we assemble it. This, I've already opened it and put it together, by the way. This is one side. It ain't all that big, guys, but I tell you what, it's a sturdy piece of metal, and it's black, So, you know, I think the other one might have been green or something, but that means, you know, if you get this all tarnished with fire ash and stuff, it still is gonna look black. It says LifeDoo on it. Is that the right way around for your camera? If not, we'll do it this way. LifeDoo, all right? You can check them out at LifeDoo Stove. Here's the two side panels, and here's the other side panel. Now, these 4 pieces right here is really all you need for a fire pit. That's it. And I mean, you know, I'm an old fat man and I can lift this really, really easy. That's all you need for a fire pit. The cooking grate and the pot holders and the ash pan, that's all extra. As they say in Louisiana, lagniappe, you know, a little bit extra. It's nice to have, but if you just really had to have a fire and you didn't care about the ground dropping ashes and you didn't care about cooking, this is all you would really need. So what you do, you take this little pan, if you want a fire pan, and it's got the tab A and the slot B stuff. You know, the world kind of works that way, doesn't it? All right. Yep, everything kind of works that way. Insert tab A and the slot B. Now, you'll see that they're in 2 locations on here. I don't know if you can see the light through there. I'll step away. All right, you got these and you got these. That way, you can make the side, all right, they could be like at a tall and narrow angle for your fire, or they can be at a wide and shallow angle for your fire. All right, it's your preference. You've got the choice. So I would say, like, if you're cooking with charcoal or something and you want to cook with it and make a charcoal fire in there and cook it, make a wide and shallow one, all right? If you want like a fire that's deep with some smaller, bigger pieces of wood and stuff, and bigger sticks, make a taller, shallow one. I mean, a taller, narrow one, and not a wider, shallow one. If I was cooking with charcoal, I'd probably do it wider or shallow. So let me show you how it sets up. Tab A, right like that. All right, this is how I do it anyway. Put that one in there, and I put this one in here. By the way, I'm going with the taller, narrow configuration on this one right now. Well, I didn't do that very well, did I? You really can't. This was easier when I practiced. Tell you what, I'm gonna start over. That one sides in. Lean it like that right there. Put this side in. Just like this right here. Lock it down. Set this thing on here. Like this right here. I'm sure with a little practice I can start assembling this real simple. All right. Lock it down. Guys, there's your fire pit. Right like that. It's in there. Look at that. And you could build you a small fire in there. Now, I wouldn't make this your permanent backyard fire pit. But if you're only using it a few times a year to go camping, that's great. If you're using it a few times a year because you have a party in your backyard, maybe you already got a permanent fire pit, a chimenea, some kind of burn kettle or something that people sit around, but you wanted another place where the teenagers that might be at your party can hang out, or the women folk and the men folk can hang out at another one. You wanted just a spare fire pit. You might not even camp, and you wanted a spare place so that you could have a second fire for your Christmas party or whatever you're doing in your backyard. That's not bad. And once it's together, it's together, you know? I mean, that's, and this metal is plenty thick enough to have a fire, but not so too thick to make it heavy. All right, now, remember I told you that one of these sides is a little bit longer than the other? See if I can tilt this like this. You want to put the longer side in like that, fold it down, and then, well, maybe I didn't get it in there right. Huh. When I did this earlier, it was at a wider configuration. Oh, I see what I got to do. I got to put it, there's 2 sets of holes. My bad, y'all. And I practiced that earlier too. There's 2 sets of holes. So if it's in the taller configuration, you go with the holes on top. Now it's going to go in there. So what I do is I go right here like that, and then it drops in there like that, and then we slide it. And now that thing there will help hold the ashes and the smaller coals from dropping out too soon. Okay, and like I said, it'll sit right in this little pan right here. I could use that as a baking sheet. Boy, that's nice. Put some cookies on there. Woo! I bet I could roast something on it like that too if I had some place to drop the ashes. Anyway, that goes there. This goes here. You're gonna protect your ground for leave no trace, stuff like that. Now, it's got these three things, and these are metal, and they're pretty sturdy, but if they're like that, they're gonna be sturdy. It's got all these slots along here, so I could put these things like this and set my grill grate on top. It's also got grill grate for the handles, like they fit across here too. And that grill grate is gonna be sturdy there, all right? But, let's say I didn't want to use a grill grate. What if I wanted to use a skillet? Well, if I got a big skillet, I can spread them out wide like that and put the skillet across there. A griddle, you can put a griddle across there like that. What if it's just a small little pot or pan or something? I put them right there, and you see I can just use the, well, dead nabbit, you're not supposed to pick it up and let it slide over. That's not what it's designed to do. That's operator error, not my fault. Let me pick these up for you real quick. I should edit this out, but you're watching Big Lou Barbecue and you know how I roll. Look, guys, put it right there, put it right there, put it right there. You can put your skillet on top. I'll hold it like that now. You see, you can put your skillet on top, right, of that, and use it as a stove to cook whatever you wanted to cook on it. So the difference between this UROD and the Prima, it's coming with the ground protector, the grill grate, and like I said, I don't expect this grill grate to last forever. You can use it a few times. I'd keep it real clean. It'll fit in your dishwasher, you know. But this grill grate will definitely wear out long before the fire pit actually will, but that's okay. Any grill grate that you could find could fit right on top of there, fit on top of the sides, or fit on top of these little things that they have in the rack. All right, now, I know I'm talking a lot. They asked me to be fair and be critical, and I really don't have anything other critical to say except the profanity on the back of the box is just not necessary. I'm not trying to be a prude or anything, but I got a family channel, and you know, why make some mama blush when their 8-year-old son reads the back of the box or something? You know, why do that? Just, there's no reason to put the profanity on the back of the box. I don't get that. The other thing I would criticize, and I realize they're keeping costs down. This is not an expensive item. I think it was like 80 bucks or something like that. Don't quote me. I'm gonna give the link down below to LifeDooStove.com, and you'll see it on your screen right there. But this is not made to be, that stove will outlast this. Maybe they'll sell replacement grates on their website, and that'll be awesome if they sell replacement grates and they're not too much and you can get them shipped to you. You can use one, camp it all season long, and if it's worn out, chuck it and order you a new one for the next season. I expect these to last quite a while. You take care of them and clean them and don't let them rust, and you'll be able to put any grate, any pot, any stove, anything like that on top of here. All right, so they asked me to do a couple things. One thing they asked me to do was show how compact it is. I think I've done that, but they said show how compact it is by showing it going into a car, so if you go camping. Then they asked me to take it to a rural area, a wilderness area, like a campground somewhere, and start a fire in it. And they asked me to cook in it. I'm not going to a campground. I live in the country. Guys, this is my backyard. And yeah, I need to mow a good bit of it because it's rained for several weeks. And but that's my pond back there. They thought maybe like a lake setting or a river setting or something might look nice. I got my own pond. I live on 4 acres here in the country. I live out in the boonies, and I don't see any reason for me to go to a campground. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold this up and I'm gonna walk out there to my pond. And I'm gonna start a fire out there in this, and I'm gonna cook some breakfast, some steak and some eggs. So let's see how this thing burns, all right? Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue. Don't go anywhere. We're going to use it. Well, you know what? They wanted me to show it going into a car, a crowded car with a lot of camping gear, to say, hey, this doesn't take up a lot of space. You put it in the trunk of your car or the back of your SUV or whatever. Look, if I'm going to go camping, I'm going to go what they call car camping, quote unquote, but I'm going to use a pickup truck. Obviously, you could see it doesn't take up a lot of room in the bed of my pickup truck. And I could probably slide that under the back seat, maybe even under the front seat. It doesn't take up a lot of room. I could put it right down between the door and the side seat. It doesn't take up a lot of room, certainly in the back of a pickup. Looking at the back of my late wife's Dodge Journey. I guess it's mine now, soon to be my daughter's. And that's with all the seats up, all 3 rows of seats. So there's not a lot of room in the back. Now, if I lower those seats down, I've got room to pack stuff in. But you know, there's not a lot of room here, but guess what? That doesn't take up a lot of room. Put a chest set right there, whatever. And I mean, you know, it'll fit in the car quite easy. All right, let's go out to the pond and cook something. Well, all right, I'm not car camping, but I toted this out to my pond. Y'all, I gotta thank, my executive producer. Let me show you what's here already before I got here. It's awesome. Well, maybe I don't want to thank him. Before I got out here, he tried, I guess. I might have to fire my executive producer. His name is yours truly, and I might have to fire him. But he already set me up a chair, a little table. I got 3 eggs for my breakfast. Look at this, y'all. A sirloin steak, already Worcestershire sauced and seasoned with some of my favorite steak seasoning. 2 pieces of French bread toast, 3 eggs, Cajun Creole seasoning for the eggs, Chipotle hot sauce for the eggs, 2 fire starters, my coffee, which is brewed in the house because I'm not really camping, right? I'm out here in my backyard at my pond, and some post oak firewood. He's really thoughtful, but he didn't bring my grilling tools. All right, so I got it set up on the ground. I've got the little lighter cubes. I'm just gonna go ahead and light them up with the Zippo and get them going. I just filled the Zippo too, or my executive producer did. Do that one that way. Don't try this at home. I'm an untrained amateur. All right, move right there to the center. And I'm gonna put some post oak in here. See if we get us a little fire going. That one don't quite fit. That one does if I put it diagonal. So we'll just, you know what? I've got some smaller pieces. That one right there, that fits in there. And if I was just doing a fire and not cooking, it wouldn't matter if I piled it up a little higher, you know? But anyway, I think that's gonna get me a nice little fire going. What do you think? It's already starting to catch. So it's working well, drafting well. That's real time. I haven't edited this video. And I can see that this wood's already starting to catch. All right, well, while I wait for that to catch fire, and it's doing a great job. There's my flip-flops, y'all, ugly feet. So you can see how easy it is. I can already feel the heat coming off of it on this cool morning. And this is my pond. It's just a little half-acre pond. I'm not a rich man. I'm not a wealthy man. But I live in the country, and I got this little half-acre pond I catch catfish out of. Now, this is part of the Big Glue Barbecue and other things I want to do part. And I'm just going to tell you, you know, I was hit by a hurricane 7 months ago. At the end of August, really put a whopper damage on my house. 3 weeks later, my wife suddenly and unexpectedly passed away. And then 2 weeks after that, got hit with another hurricane that put 12 inches of water into the holes left by the first hurricane. So in the span of 5 weeks, I lost a house and a spouse. My house is in the process of being repaired, but my life, I'm trying to get it back repaired too, to be honest. And I hadn't got out here to the pond to clean up the downed trees and the hurricane damage that was done 7 months ago, but I'll get that done this summer. Now, out here by this thing, my wife and I, when she was alive, we talked about putting a fire pit out here by the pond so we'd have a little destination to come to. If I'd known about this thing back in those days, I'd have bought it if it had been around, because it's a temporary fire pit, and then bring the lawn chairs out here, and we could have had a romantic evening out here with just a fire pit. But life's getting better, guys. Never get, you know, be the same. My kids lost their mother, but I have met a lady, and this would be nice on a little date, just to go to a park somewhere or whatever, for a picnic or something, or just a little romantic evening in the backyard where you don't want to keep a regular fire pit, or for camping. It's folds up, doesn't take a whole lot of space, and man, the fire, you can see it's already catching. All right, already catching. So that's my little area. So let me turn this camera around. All right, guys, I know I'm making this a review long, but you know what? I want to make it thorough. Look, while this fire catches, I'm gonna run back up to my house because I'm not really camping, and I'm gonna get my grilling tools so I can cook this steak. All right, we'll be back. Hopefully this thing will be ready to cook on by the time I get back. All right, so while I'm gone, I'm just gonna let you watch the fire. Just watch the fire. I'm going to get my grilling tools. All right, I'm back with my spatula and my little steak flipper. And I tell you what, it's done a good job. I mean, the fire's been going really well, and won't be too long, I'll be ready to cook with this thing. Really won't be too long and I'll be ready to cook with it. All right, the fire has been going great, and I think it's, you know, it's not completely embers yet, but I think it's good enough to cook my steak and eggs on. And so I'm gonna go ahead and set it up for cooking the steak and eggs just the way I showed you earlier in the video. I want to tell you, I'm getting hungry. It smells great, and this has the same problem that all other fire pits have, unless they're a chimenea, and that is the smoke blows wherever Big Lou's sitting, right in my eyes. But I think that's not this fire pit's fault, right? It's the fact that I'm sitting downwind from it. Anyway, I think it's where I'm impressed. I gotta say, I am impressed. And of course I could stoke the flames a little bit and get a roaring flames going out of there, but I don't want to. I want to cook with it, so I'm letting it kind of burn to embers. All right, I got it set up. I'm only using 2 of these things, and I will tell you, those get kind of hot, so don't grab them once they get under the fire. I just put them on that side, and I probably could have gotten away with just one. So what I'm gonna do is just set my skillet on there like that. And I probably don't even need it. You see, if the grill grate's not on there, well, it's hot, man. I can set that skillet on there like that, you know. But I'm gonna have the grill grate because I'm cooking a steak right over here. Here's a little, about a 1/2 inch thick sirloin steak going on now, and you can hear the sizzle. Let me get it where I want it like that, so I could turn it back that way and make a little crosshatch grill grate marks on it if I can. But I'm gonna let that cook a little bit. Once I flip it over, I'll start the eggs in the skillet. The skillet should be hot by then. All right, well, maybe I let it go a little too long to get grill marks, but you know what? I still got myoglobin and stuff pulling up there, so I don't think it's well done yet. I cut off a little piece of fat to go in the skillet here so I can cook my eggs. And I've got enough grease down in the bottom, and I'm gonna go ahead and fry up some eggs. Now look, I appreciate you watching my review of this LifeDoo UROD. You could watch a lot of other YouTube channels that have it too. They did what they call YouTube Blitz, where they send it out to a lot of YouTubers. I'm glad to be one among them, and I appreciate it. So, and I appreciate you watching my review of this. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can. As I put some Cajun Creole seasoning on my eggs, got the steak off, I've got some French bread toast going, about ready to flip that over. And of course these eggs will be sunny side up. So breakfast is served here in just a few minutes, and I would really like this fire pit. I wouldn't tell you I do if I didn't. Well, these sunny up eggs are just about finished. Look at that, will you? Look at that. I'm gonna walk this back into the house, share this steak, maybe an egg or two with my son. I want to thank LifeDoo for sending me this. I want to thank you for watching my review of it. I know there's other reviews of this on YouTube already, but I have to say, I appreciate you watching mine. I appreciate LifeDoo choosing my channel to send it to. I got to tell you, I'm gonna like having this around. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna like having this around. As far as the grill grate's concerned, that'll work for a while. But if it breaks, you can get any grill pan you want, put it on there. But I'd recommend to LifeDoo to go ahead and make the extra grill grate available on their website so people could buy spares if they wanted this one. But any grill pan would work. The little sticks here to hold up stuff, that's a brilliant idea. And I gotta tell you, it's burned well now. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the eggs inside, eat inside. I'm gonna let this burn out, and I'm gonna clean it all up, and I'll show you the damage done to it when it's clean, and we'll get this up on YouTube. Hey, thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue and my review of the fire pit from LifeDoo, the UROD. All right, so this is what happens after the cook, all right? This is the aftermath. Now, these are those 3 slots. That's the one I did not use. These are the 2 I did use. I don't know if it shows up on camera. In real life, at first glance, it's hard to tell, but with a little study, you could tell the ones that were used. I washed all the parts in the sink with a dish brush, a nylon cast iron dish brush, and then dried them off with a dish towel. So I think those will last quite a bit of time. All right, this is the ash grate. And it cleaned up okay. Remember, I had a wood fire in there. Wood fire produces more soot than charcoal fires do. But you see that right there? The weld broke there, and the weld broke here. And I don't expect these welds on here to stay on very long with a whole lot of frequent use anyway. Occasional use, it's fine. I would get, and I probably will get, some expanded metal to put down in the bottom of it. I don't know if LifeDoo sells these extra grates on their website, but they should maybe sell extra ones. But if they don't, you can certainly manufacture one out of a little piece of expanded metal, and that's not a big deal. This is the grill grate. I don't see any welds broken on it. Remember I said wood fires produce more soot than non-wood fires, charcoal fires. But that's what it looks like after one cook. I don't expect it to last forever, but you could use a grill pan, just a simple grill pan, one of those things that has slots or holes in it or something like that. Rest it on this, and you don't really need that. But if you want one from LifeDoo, LifeDoo should sell these extra as an accessory on their website, or as a replacement part or something like that. All right, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't have a whole lot of high expectations for this thing, and it exceeded my expectations. But that was a little bit of water left from when I didn't dry the grate real well. But the finish held up pretty well on here. I thought it would be much worse, but it didn't. There is a little bit of warping. I don't know if you could tell that. Of course, you could turn it around, put it on the other side next time you use it, and then you won't have the warping. All right, I thought I dried everything well. That's what it looks like on the inside with the fire. You can see the little change in coloration there. I thought I dried everything well. I sure did. Oh well, a little bit more water. There's a little bit of coating that came off right there. On the inside here, that's the side where most of the steak dripped onto. And the coating has come off. I suppose if the coating comes off of this whole thing, I would probably just treat it like carbon steel or cast iron and season the thing with oil or something and just keep it well seasoned, because I expect these parts to last a long time. Even though there's a little bit of warping, next time I put it together, I just turn it around and it wouldn't warp the other way. It warped a whole lot less than what I thought it would. And I had a hot fire in that thing. I had a hot fire in that thing for about 30 minutes before I cooked on it. So I got to tell you, I'm impressed. I just bumped the camera. I'm sorry about that, but I got to tell you, I'm impressed. But yeah, you just notice out here in the sun, that's a little bit of places where the finishes come off too. So if I hadn't cooked, so that's where the steak drippings dripped. If I hadn't dripped steak drippings on it, I think the finish would have held up well just as a fire pit. The cooking and dripping the steak drippings is what made that finish come off. But I could probably use stove polish, high temp grill paint, or just season it like you would carbon steel to cover that up. All right, these did pretty well, except for that one. Big old notch right there that came apart. There was steak drippings that dripped on that. Now the other side wasn't too bad because I used a skillet and I didn't have anything dripping on that side, But that, you can obviously see the finish came off right there. And that one looks pretty darn good. A little bit of dot with something right there, but that one almost looks brand new. A couple scratches from the wood, but I think it did pretty well. That cleaned up really nicely. I could still bake cookies on that, and it had ashes on it. Let me put the grill together in the wide configuration, and we'll close this out. Here it is in a wide configuration. If I was cooking with a small amount of charcoal, that's what I would do. That went ahead and came off of the other one when I was just putting it in there. So 3 welds have broken on it. It's only attached right there. Oh well, like I said, I'll probably put expanded metal in it. Hey, I know this is a long video and I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I want to thank the folks at LifeDoo for trusting me with a thorough review. I tried to be thorough and I tried to be informative and tried to be a little bit entertaining. I hope you enjoyed it and I was honest, you know. I think the main body of it will last quite a while, even though the finish is coming off in some places. The grill grates and stuff, that's all something you can figure out how to get on your own. I mean, you can use a cookie sheet for the ash pan, and you know, you could use any kind of grill pan you can find. The little slots, that's genius. That's genius, all right? And I've got 7 other little tabletop grills, 3 cast iron hibachis, and a little fold-up propane camping one. And that one's smaller than all of them. So that's the 8th one, that's smaller than all of them. And so it's good for, you know, camping, but it's also good maybe for a college student or something that lives in a dorm room, doesn't have a lot of place to store a grill. That folds up and fits in the closet, under the bed, whatever. I mean, it's pretty good little deal. And I've got a discount code, BLB10, BLB10. If you want one, check LifeDoo out. The description's down below, BLB10. Once again, thank you for watching Big Lou Barbecue, and thank LifeDoo for sending me the opportunity to give a review.